How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
We in the dojo, ain't no days off. The way isn't training, you don't bleed in practice, you die in the field. Look, swinging the wood till my knuckles are bleeding. I don't need rest, it's the combat I'm needing. 10,000 hours, I'm locked in the zone. Carving my spirit right down to the bone. Stepping my radius, watch how I sever. I'm swinging this blade like I do this forever. Practice make lethal, the rest make me cold. I'm gripping the steel till my body gets old. You talking that talk, but you skipping the gym. I look at the weekend, I pity for him. Every single morning, I wake up and strike. You never seen discipline looking like. I empty my lungs and I swing out the chest. I treat every shadow like it is a test. The way is the practice is war. I leave all my enemies down on the floor. Rap at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the way isn't training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the way isn't training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Look at the calluses covering my hands. I'm executing these tactical plans. You sleeping in late, I was up in the dark. Leaving the den and the wood in the bark. Slow down the tempo, I'm taking my time. Perfect the angle, I perfect the crime. 1,000 more cuts just to build up the muscle. You don't understand the extent of the hustle. Drilling the parry, I'm drilling the block. I'm beating the sun and I'm beating the clock. There ain't no secret, there ain't no hack. You step on the battlefield, you don't come back unless you put hours and hours of sweat. I am a consequence, I am a threat. Continue with practice, I never retreat. I'm dropping the opposition at my feet. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. No days off, no excuses. You skip a day, you slip away. Strike 1,000 times before the sun is up. My mind is heavy, but my blade is light. Drill it again. Yeah. Aggressive approach when I step in the ring. I swing with the force that a hurricane bring. Master the form till the form is a ghost. I'm doing the most when you're doing the least. I turn myself into tactical beast. The way isn't training, it's etched in my brain. I'm walking through fire, I'm walking through rain. Ain't no arrival, it's only the grind. I'm leaving the rest of the rookies behind. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the way isn't training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rap out the rap, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the way isn't training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Keep swinging, keep drilling. The ways of practice.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing tonight?
Are you ready?
Are you ready to wind down the week? It might have been a long, hectic work week for you. Who knows? But we're getting closer to the weekend. We're getting closer to the weekend. We get to relax from our regular work, but we have the opportunity to continue bettering ourselves, growing and winning and growing. That is what we do over here on the Tech Coach Ralph channel. All right, so tonight my plan is to jump into learning about AI model testing. We have a few local models. I got Gemma 4 the other day. I made a video yesterday about Gemma 4, but I got some. We need to figure it out. It's been on my bucket list to do. See, some people have a bucket list to go to like New Zealand or wherever, you know, Europe, stuff like that. On my bucket list, I have build this app, learn how to test these AI models. Those are the things that are on my bucket list. Am I weird? Probably. I like to work and I like to win. So we're going to do some investigation. How do we test AI models? Like I said, I already have Gemma 4 installed. I have Olama installed. I have DeepSeek installed. I remember a few years ago, DeepSeek was like, no, never, ever, ever, ever. Now I haven't heard anything about DeepSeek in a very, very long time. So I'm with it. So we're going to figure out how to use these open source models to learn how to test it, how to fine tune it, all those details. We're going to figure that out. All right. We have some great break time topics as well. But before we get into any of that, I want to start us off. I want to make sure that we're awake. I want to start off with a very, very quick icebreaker. And this one is going to be from the Adobe CEO. And he challenges the bear market on software, saying, you know what? It ain't happening. You guys are going to lose your jobs. So before we get into anything else, let's jump into this icebreaker really, really quick. And I don't even know the name of the Adobe CEO. I am going to go out on a limb, or not go on a limb, but I'm going to say this, right? I am not very fond of Adobe because of the monthly subscription thing, that you have to pay like $100 a month just to use their software if you want the full. If for one software it's like $35 a month. I am not really a fan of that. So, but I do want to be fair and listen to his comments. It's like 30 seconds, right? But I do want to be fair and listen to it. But I'm just going to go out and say right now, disclaimer, I am not a fan of Adobe and their pricing model because it is super duper expensive to use it on a monthly basis. That's all I'm going to do. All right. But anyways, let's see what the Adobe CEO has to say on the topic of software. I can't hear him. Why can't I hear him? Is it muted? Hold up. No. Why can't I hear him? What happened to your sound, buddy? Let's try that again. Why can't I hear you, Mr. Adobe CEO? It's awkward. Hold up. Let me see something real quick.
I think what's different a little bit is that people are really thinking about.
So why is this one not playing? Oh, I know why. Ha ha. Maybe I should put the volume up on my side. Let's try that again. Let's go.
I think what's different a little bit is that people are really thinking about, what happens to the future of software. And I think actually I think the bears have it all wrong. I actually believe that there's going to be more opportunity for creative companies than ever before. But we have to navigate that. We have to navigate these new surfaces like LLMs and make sure that you can perform your creative functions there. We have to make sure that we can deliver conversational interfaces. So all the modalities by which people want to engage with computing is possible.
And to be fair, I agree with him. I do agree with him. But honestly, what I hear from what he's saying is that they're going to increase the prices of Adobe software. That's what I hear. They're going to implement AI so that you can prompt Photoshop to say, "Hey, Photoshop, create this for me," and you can tap into some models to use, like, let's say Gemini or DALL-E, God forbid, or Grok to create your image, and then you say, "Okay, now do this, add this text on it," and so they're gonna be heavily implementing AI into all of their software, right? But what I hear the most is that they're going to increase the price. That's what I hear. I could be wrong, but I hear a price increase for the Adobe Creative Suite going all the way up. That's what I hear. Let's listen to it one more time.
I think what's different a little bit is that people are really thinking about, what happens to the future of software. And I think actually I think the bears have it all wrong. I actually believe that there's going to be more opportunity for creative companies than ever before. But we have to navigate that. We have to navigate these new surfaces like LLMs and make sure that you can perform your creative functions there. We have to make sure that we can deliver conversational interfaces. So all the modalities by which people want to engage with computing is possible.
Like I said, I agree with him. I agree with him. I just see it as a price increase for the Adobe software though. And we'll see where the chips fall. You can go faster, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. So that's how I see it. But that is our icebreaker for tonight. Shout out to Adobe, which I do not use because their pricing model is crazy. Back in the days, you used to be able to buy Adobe Creative Suite for like, I don't know, for a bunch of, it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money, but it was a one-time fee. And you had it for like 5 years. And now every month you have to pay and pay and pay. And it's like, gee, what is Adobe? Anyhow, that is our icebreaker for tonight. Let me know your thoughts though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you agree with the Adobe CEO, whatever his name, I really don't know his name, but whatever his name is, do you agree with the Adobe CEO that the bear market on software got it wrong and that it is going to be expanding for creators? Or do you think that it's over? It is over for you software people, for you QA people, for you tech people. It is over. All right. All right. Let's jump into our housekeeping for tonight. So first and foremost, thank you so much to every last subscriber on the channel. Thank you for helping us grow. Thank you for helping us win. We are the best. I do appreciate you. Shout out to my tech barbarians. We have a Scrum Night coming up this weekend. We're going to be wrapping up our sprint, jumping into our next sprint. We are working so hard. We're inching closer and closer to releasing the Tech Barbarians coaching portal for you. And it is going to be available for like as part of your TechWithDrive membership. Is going to be available to you at TechWithDrive.dev. But for anyone else, you'll be able to sign up for it, pay the monthly fee, get that amazing coaching that it offers, all of that good stuff. But that is over at TechWithDrive.dev. We had a vibe code and chill this past Saturday. We have one coming up, not this coming Saturday, but the following one every other week. We have our vibe code and chill. We have a great time. And guess what? Guess what is going to happen? At our next vibe code, let me check my Palm Pilot real quick. At our next vibe code and chill is going to be May 2nd. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means that Junior will be free. Yes, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty. Junior will be free at last from Lovable Prison, and he will be back at it working on his softwares to show us at our next Vibe Code and Chill. Free my dog Junior from Lovable Prison. See, like y'all be putting, free Pookie and all whoever names Ray, whatever, on their t-shirts saying, "Oh, free my dog, free."
What's this?
Dog.
Oh, it's only money.
Shout out to my guy Rod Brown. Thank you so much, Rod Brown. I will read that in just a second, but my guy Junior will be free from Lovable Prison. Or see. I'd rather us be in Lovable Prison waiting for our credits than I would rather be able to put commissary on Junior's Lovable books instead of on someone else's actual books. No. We're here to work. We're here to win. All right. That's what we do. So free. I'm looking forward to May 2nd. Free my dog Junior from Lovable Prison so we can get that work. Shout out to my tech mercenaries, the YouTube channel members who keeps this channel going, like my dear friend, Rod Brown in the building. What up, Rod Brown? So to every last one of you, I appreciate you. We are the very best.
We the best.
And as always, let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
All right, quick announcements. Tomorrow we have the bug bite. We're going to be dropping the bug bite Saturday. I'm not going to be live or anything. There's no events happening on Saturday. That's going to be a work day for me. And Sunday, we're going to be back live with working on the speech coaching app, Speak Precisely AI. And we have Scrum Night shortly after that. All right. So that is the plan for the next few days. We did release the video going over reviewing Google Gemma. We're going to be working we're going to see if we can work with Gemma a little bit tonight, but that is everything that we have going on. Check it out. Tons of things happening. So let's go out there and get it. All right, I'm gonna check the chat really quick to see what we got going on in the building. And let me see. So we got Junior says, let's see. Junior says, what's up, coach? Better late than never. And of course, I cannot forget Junior's intro.
What's up?
What up, Junior, in the building? Hopefully everything is going well for all of my friends. And let me see. We got my guy Rod Brown in the building. Says that's why I get it for free 99. I mean, to be fair, when Rod Brown says it's for free, that means that, you know. All right, I'm gonna tell you what it means when Rod Brown says he gets it for free, right? Some people get flued out for free. You know, they get taken to like Miami, to California, to New York. What Rod Brown gets is software. See, we are the software bros. We're not password bros. We're not none of that stuff. We are the software bros. If you want to hook us up, give us some software, give us some tokens, put some AI tokens on my books, because you guys know that I am a token fiend. I'm just saying. You says, well, that'll definitely wake you up, you know? And I noticed a lot more CEOs showing themselves to the public. I think, you know what I think, Junior? I think that they might have always been showing themselves out to the public, but based on where we're from, how we grew up, we never looked for the CEOs. Do you think that people who intensively follow like business, like CNBC, Bloomberg, like Fox Business, Yahoo, whatever Yahoo has, those channels, do you think that they know all the details about what's going on in pop culture and which rapper did this? Offset got shot by this, but got shot in the butt by some other rapper. What about like the Pooh Shiesty guy got like he tried to rob Gucci Mane to get out of his. Do you think the people who watch CNBC, Keep Up with the Markets, Bloomberg, whatever those channels are, do you think they know about all these details that are happening? And like, you know, so they might be well versed with all the CEOs. Because at the end of the day, the CEOs have to come out and do their presentations for stocks and stuff like that to be a public company. So I think that the fact that we are diving deeper into the tech space and we're looking at the CNBCs and those channels, we're able to hear more from the tech people. So I don't think that they were quiet. I think that we weren't looking in the right place. And now that we're looking in the right place, we're able to get more insight. So I can easily say, you know what, drop 50 on Junior's AI books, right? Drop 50 on Junior's AI books, and I know it's going to a good spot. All right. Junior says you can stop, but Adobe for a one-time fee. As far as Lightroom and Photoshop goes, you just won't get the updates. Yeah, I know. Got my guy Rod Brown with the $10 super chat. Says congrats on the 4K subs. Why, thank you, Rod Brown.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. You are my motivation. All right, let's get it. It says he going. We're not getting flued out. We're getting softwared up. We're getting softwared up. That's what you call it. We're getting softwared up. I don't need you to fly me anywhere. Can you pay for this month's Adobe subscription? Can you give me 3 months of Adobe subscription? That would be a good gift, right? I don't need those other. I just need 3 months. Give me 3 months of Lovable. Put some money on my Cloud Code books. Give me some API keys. I am a token fiend. You know, hello, my name is Ralph and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. Oh my goodness, that makes sense. We never followed them, just the headlines and degeneracy and the latest Jordan drop. Shout out to the latest Jordan drop. I'm telling you, those lines be, and you know what? I wouldn't even be upset. I wouldn't be upset if, because you know how the lines for the Jordans go, be like they'll be wrapped around the store. Like even though Michael Jordan hasn't played basketball I think his last year was 1999 when he played for the Wizards, maybe 2000, or was it 2001? Because the whole controversy of Kwame Brown, whatever it was like maybe 2001, right? It's been almost 25 years that Michael Jordan has not played basketball, yet his shoes are still the best-selling shoes. Make that, and people are killing over those Jordans. People are wrapped around the store for those Jordans. Make that make sense. And like I was saying, I wouldn't even be bothered by it if at least while you're in line waiting for those Jordans, you're using money that you made from the stock market, investing in whatever, maybe in Tesla, maybe in Nike, maybe in whoever, maybe not Nike, but in any of these companies, right? If you're using that money, and then if you're staying in line, listening to something educational, maybe listening to the Secco Drop channel, who knows? But you're actually doing something of value instead of just waiting and, you know, listening to the latest world star. You know, if you're doing something of value while you're waiting for those Jordans, maybe having a conversation with your AI to think about what can we do next, then it would make a little bit more sense, right? But no, we do not do that.
Bruh.
It's what it is. It is what it is. And Rob Brown says, for Adobe Creative Suite? Hell yeah, I'm going. And you know what, Rod Brown? I would be right behind you because if you give me some Claude credits, some Google API tokens, OpenAI. All right, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be fair with you, right? I ain't going for OpenAI tokens, all right? I am not going for some OpenAI tokens. I'm just saying. I am just saying it ain't happening. It is not happening. All right. But for anything, like, give me some Lovable credits. Give me some Gemini credits. Give me some Claude Code credits. Give me Adobe Creative Suite. Give me DaVinci Studio. I'm going. Give me some Runware credits because my thumbnails now, they used to be like less than a penny. Now they're like 7 cents a thumbnail. They're like 7 cents a thumbnail. So give me some, put some on my Runware books, and I'm telling you, I'm going. I am going.
Another one.
All right. So anyhow. It says, speaking of OpenAI, they dropped an update today. Okay, well, shout out to OpenAI. Golf clap for OpenAI. You know, trying to catch up to Anthropic and trying to catch up to Gemini. People said the image generator is better than Nano Banana. Where, see, I never got the Bueller soundbite. Hold on, you know what? Because of that, Rod Brown, we're gonna have to do it right now because that is a good one. Let me see if I can find a Bueller soundbite. Let's see a good one. Let's see.
Bueller.
Is that it? Those are more. All right, hold on.
Bueller.
Yeah, too much.
Bueller.
We'll go with that one. All right, let me get that one. Cause yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. Shout out to the OpenAI gang, trying to be better than Gemini. Cause when I tried it for my thumbnail generation, I asked for a 9x16. It gave me a 1x1, and it was atrocious. All right, so if you want to believe that, but let me go and let me get my my Bueller soundbite for these awkward situations. All right, let's go with that. Bueller. There we go. Ooh, I heard it. Wait, what? All right, there we go. Got it. I got my Bueller. All right. So let me set it up as well. Let me set it up. I need a slot for Bueller. Let me go to here and let me go to boom. Let's drop Bueller right here. All right, and then we're gonna go to Bueller, and let's give it a try.
Bueller.
There we go. Done. Done. Let me do Bueller. Images. Copy image. Done. See? There you go. Thanks for the inspiration, Rod Brown. Thank you for the inspiration and for the $10 super chat. And for the $10 super chat. All right. Let's go to all right, let's get into our first topic of tonight, and then we're gonna get to work. So topic work. That is our game plan for tonight. All right. We're gonna be the first. Okay, so the first topic of tonight, we're gonna be looking over a San Francisco storefront that is ran by AI agents, and the AI agents actually hire real human beings. So do the humans end up working for the robots? Where a robot works for a human being? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out together. Okay, let's jump into it.
There's a new store in San Francisco, and it's got a manager, but that manager is not human. An AI bot named Luna was tasked with the job running inventory and even hiring employees to help with packages and stock the store. The two entrepreneurs behind the experiment say it's actually making a profit, and Luna is attracting a lot of attention to the store, as you can imagine. Let's bring in Mike Muse, ABC's contributor and tech policy fellow at Google. Mike, my friend, so nice to see you. So before we talk about the technology, what kind of store is this?
Doesn't that look like the guy from doesn't that look like the guy from what's the name of that show? Shark Tank? Oh, let me see. Look like him. Hold up. Shark Tank. What's his name? Bald guy. That's so bad. I'm so bad. I just said Shark Tank. No, not Kevin O'Leary. All right. See, I was trying not to say black bald guy. If you'll make me all right, black bald. Damon John. All right. So that looks like him. Watch this. Let's see. It's like, no. Doesn't that guy look like Damon John? Hold up. Mike? Is your brother Damon John? I'm sorry. I know you guys hate when I do this, so let's keep going.
So Luna is a completely run by an AI agent. And so what that means is think of your general manager and your store manager as being an agent that is tasked with employee scheduling, is also tasked with pricing, Stephanie. It's also tasked with inventory for what is coming in and out of the store. So it's a completely autonomous AI store, but humans still need to play a role. And I think that's such an important point, Stephanie, and a lesson to all of us to say that AI is a productivity tool that still needs humans in order for it to work efficiently and effectively.
Right, and still developing. I mean, it's getting smarter and smarter, and we're seeing it more and more in everyday life. But I can see that store has like candles and just kind of like random stuff. But apparently they made a mistake, right? The Luna's creators say it forgot to schedule employees for 3 days by mistake. So, I mean, what else could go wrong, right? I mean, and it's to your point, you still need a human kind of behind the AI bot to kind of run things.
Yeah, a part of me feels like I believe that this company behind it is partly trying to test the technology and to put it out there to figure out how this AI agent interacts with a customer in the database. But a part of me also too feels like it's almost a satirical art, an abstract art in motion. And I think the lesson that is teaching us is that we have a fear of AI. The theme right now is that AI is about to displace the workforce. AI is about to take away work, and it's about to change the way businesses and companies are done. I'm not saying that isn't going to happen, but in some cases, but not a complete version of that. And what this is indicating, and particularly with employees not being scheduled, is that there still is nuance. nuance, right? An agent wouldn't be able to react when an employee is calling out 5 minutes before their scheduled shift, right? Or someone is saying, I can't find childcare for my son or daughter, I can't come into work, or I can come in.
Do you remember when we were messing with Claude and the skills in Claude, and we watched the nursing video, and then we tried to create the nurse AI agent to help the chargers with scheduling and stuff like that? And it actually it was actually pretty cool. Like if you could integrate it into the hospital system. But one thing that I see here in this conversation is something that we see this over and over. And you guys let me know if I'm wrong. If you're watching this video, drop me a comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. The tech person who is, or somewhat of a tech person who is reporting on the story, they understand it a lot better than the news anchor who's like, oh, this thing didn't schedule people for 3 days. And now he's breaking it down. Okay, this is what it means, what could happen. And he's going into the nuance of these AI agents. But the thing that I see is the people who created this store and the AI agent, they trust the AI agent more for these managerial tasks than they trust humans. So it's like, our human, you can go in and you can come and stock the shelves, but we're going to have our AI agent do the quote unquote, the important work, which is that a slap in the face? To people who live in San Francisco, at least, maybe.
An hour late, is that okay?
Shout out to San Francisco.
Right? So you still need nuance. And AI hasn't really been completely done to do what we consider to be reasoning and deductive reasoning. That is still a weakness of AI that still is trailing behind that. Even if you look at the example of it needed to supply the bathroom with a toilet seat, it ended up ordering 1,000 toilets. But even with 1,000 that you need, you still need someone to receive the boxes and then to figure out what do you do with the excess inventory that you have.
Exactly. This is just the beginning. I'm sure we will see many more of these stores pop up in the future. Mike, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, like I was saying, right? I think that this is very, very interesting. If you can have, because if you think about it, right? Whatever the AI is doing to manage a store, I don't know how they have it set up. If they're like what model they're using to do this. If it's a private model, like they built it themselves, who knows, right? But they're able to take out a lot of managerial costs. But then but the problem is they still have like the whole 3-day thing, right? That like even whatever the reason that happened, that can't happen. You need to figure that out. So I think there needs to be a trigger involved where if they run into this problem, then it sends out an alert, it sends out a notice to like whoever is above, whoever is responsible for the AI. It needs to send out some type of notification to them so that they can react. But when things are, when you have all these parameters in place that, oh, if this happens and you do this, or I think that AI, from what I've seen, is able to reason, but within the parameters that is given, within what it knows, because AI doesn't just go and all over the place. What was I watching the other day? I was watching something the other day where, I remember now. Were we watching that together? They were interviewing the AI czar for the current Trump administration, and they gave him the example of when Claude went and blackmailed the engineer and stuff like that because they're threatening to shut it down. And something that he explained that people don't normally talk about, like, because they try to sensationalize this whole thing. That's one of the problems that I have with Anthropic, right? They always want to be fear mongering stuff. That, oh my God, it threatened to expose the fake affair that the engineer was having. But as he explained, it took like 200 prompts to force it to say that, and they backed it up into a corner because they got the outcome that they wanted to say, oh my God, this happened. And I think that given based on the information that you give it, based on the reasoning that you give it, your AI is only going to be as good as how you train it. It's like you have a dog or a child and you don't give it any home training, and now it goes and acts a fool in the streets, and you're like, oh my God, the kid is this, the kid is that. Yeah, but you didn't train the dog, or you didn't train the kid. No, I'm not. I'm all right. All right. Listen, Linda. I am not equating a dog to a child. Okay, I am not doing that. What I'm saying is that if you do not train your child or your pet when they act out in public, or even if they act out at home, what if you get home and your child or your dog pooped all over the house? All right? Because you didn't give it any home training. So to me, your AI, your child, your dog, they all fit in the same thing, right? It's like you starting a new job, and it's like let's say you get hired for a customer service job, right? And they didn't train you on what to do, so you get there and you're supposed to say, "Thank you for calling so and so company. My name is so and so. How may I help you?" So you answer the phone, "Hello," and the person on the other line is, "Hi, is this company?" "Yeah." "What do you want?" I was looking to see if I can get a refund. Hold on. And then, and by the time you're about to say it, boom, you're on hold. And then you're on hold for like 5 minutes, and then they come back. So what did you want? And it's like, "Oh yeah, so I was looking to see if I could do this and that, that and that." It's like, oh. Well, let me check for you. But boom, on hold again. And then they come back to you. "Yeah, we can't do that." "But I did it. I just did this like 2 minutes ago." "Yep. I told you, we don't do that." But I was just wondering if you could help me help. I just did help you. Is there anything else you need? Well, that was a rhetorical question. Bye. If you don't get any training, then it's the same way with AI. If you don't train the AI, that's the type of service you're going to get. And that, my friend, is that would be the DMV version of your AI, all right? The DMV version of your AI, Department of Motor Vehicles. You're trying to get your license plate renewed. "Hello, I was trying to find out hold on. You just wanted a 2-minute call to know if they're open today. Now, it's up to how are you going to train your AI, all right? If you train it well, you'll get good results. If you train your dog well, you'll get good results. If you train your kid well, you get good results. If you train the DMV customer service person well, all right. I cannot go that far. But the moral of the story, the better you train the AI, the better results you're going to get from the AI. Maybe even better results than the DMV. All right. Anyways. If you work for the DMV, I was just joking. That's all. Especially if you work for the DMV in South Florida, I was just joking. Don't at me. It's all love. It is all love. All right. But do me a favor. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know where I'm wrong, where I'm right. What do you think about this AI storefront in San Francisco and the AI hiring employees to work for it? So the robot hiring humans. Are we really to this point? Are robots actually hiring humans now? What do you think about that? Does that give you fear? Does that give you hope there's going to be more jobs if AI can create jobs for you? Let me know your thoughts. Also, like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content, as well as Tech with the Dev. Join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Join us for Scrum Night. Get access to Resume Flow, get access to Tech Preparedness Coaching Portal, and very, very soon, get access to the Speak Precisely app and anything else that I built. It is for you. All right? Alrighty. All right. So I'm checking chat real quick, and then we're going to get into our first working segment. Junior says that my analogy continues to get worse and worse. I was doing my best to try to fix it, but I could have gone even worse. But I ain't want those problems. I did not want was it Scrappy? Little Scrappy? You don't want them problems. Ugh. You don't want them problems. Ugh, I didn't want those problems. I did not want those problems. All right. So with that being said, let's go and get to our first working segment of tonight. Like I said, we're going to be figuring out how to test AI models hopefully using Google, Gemma, and Ollama. Gemma 4 to be exact. Gemma 4, I did a video about that yesterday, so go check it out if you haven't. Giving you an overview to how to get started with it, all right? Let me go over to here. So I'm going to start off with put over 20 minutes.
It's time to
I'm going to start off with Gemini to say, all right, so as you know, hopefully you should know me pretty well. I'm going to go pro model too, right? Because sometimes the fast be tripping. It'd be too fast. Pause. All right. So I cannot watch the Mason Cameron show anymore because they say pause every other thing that they say, and now it got me saying it. Now I'm not doing it anymore, right? So, as you know, I am a QA engineer, and I want to transition to testing AI models. I recently downloaded Gemma 4 and have been interacting with it via Ollama. Can you give me a blueprint on how I can use Gemma 4 or any other open source AI or LLM to learn how to test AI models? Let me know the tools needed and the approach taken to test them. I am familiar, although I need a refresher on the different training types of the models, but I want to focus on how to actually test them and run tests on models. So let's start off with that prompt. Let's see what it says. And I am interested about OpenAI. Let me see what this OpenAI new model thing is. Is it 5.5? Let's see, 3 hours ago. New images, model surprisingly good at generating text. Oh, finally. I mean, Gemini's been doing that for, all right. So we'll also try this OpenAI. We'll try this OpenAI new model, see if we can generate an image from it. So transitioning from traditional software QA to testing AI models is a high impact move right now. As a senior engineer, you already have the infrastructure mindset. You know how to build pipelines, manage Docker containers, and wire up GitHub actions. The core shift here is moving from deterministic testing, where 2 + 2 is always 4, to probabilistic evaluation, where 2 + 2 might equal 4, or the answer is 4. Here's the math. Here's your technical blueprint for running QA on an open source model like Gemma via Ollama. A 30-second training refresher. Before testing, you need to know what layer of the model you're actually targeting. Pre-training base models, the model reads the internet to learn how to predict the next word. You rarely test this unless you're building a foundational model from scratch. Fine-tuning, SFT and RLHF. The model is trained on specific prompt response pairs to learn how to act as an assistant, write code, or parse specific data. Or a RAG, retrieval augmented generation, not a training method, but an architecture. You give the model an external database like a vector DB. You pull context from before answering. To pull context from before answering. This is where most modern AI QA happens. Really interesting. Okay. The paradigm shift. the traditional QA versus AI QA. In traditional QA, you write an assertion, expect login button dot is visible to be true. In AI QA, you cannot write expect response to equal yes because the model might say affirmative. Instead, we use evaluation metrics. To test an AI, we often use a concept called LLM as a judge. You use a larger, smarter model like Claude 3.5 Sonnet or Gemini 1.5 Pro to grade the output of your smaller local model, Gemma. The AI QA toolkit. It's already working with the stack involving Python, TypeScript, and local inference. Here are tools you need to build your test framework. You need Olama, we have that, CLI, REST API, host your local models like Gemma and serve them via an API so your test scripts can query them. Promptfoo, TypeScript Node, excellent for CLI-based prompting testing, red teaming, and catching regressions when you tweak a prompt. dbval, Python, PyTest native, the PyTest for large language models, allows you to write unit tests for AI outputs using metrics like answer, relevance, toxicity. Toxicity, really? Okay. And bias. RAG so that's Python, the gold standard for testing RAG architecture, evaluating if the model actually used the context you provided. So the blueprint, how to actually run tests on Gemma. Here is a step-by-step approach to building an automated test suite for your large language model. Create your golden data set. You cannot test a large language model without a baseline. Create a JSON or CSV file containing a set of inputs and the ideal expected outputs or criteria. Step 2, write the evaluation script, Python dbval. Example, instead of manual API calls, write a script that sends the data set to your local Gemma model via Olama, gets the response and evaluates it. Here is what the actual test looks like using dbval. In Python, notice we define a metric answer relevance rather than a strict string match. So what they're saying is help her to hit your local Olama instance. So we got that to hit Olama. We get the response and then test Gemma code review capability, input prompt, review this Python snippet for bugs. What's this thing? For bugs, definition A, B, return A minus B. Get the actual output from your local Gemma model. Get Gemma response, input prompt, where it's get. Okay, so this is going to be running this right here. Metric answer relevance metric threshold is 0.7. Create the test case, large language model test case. Where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming from dbval. Okay, gotcha. Input equals input prompt, which would be this input prompt right here. And actual output, actual equals actual output. Okay, actual output, get Gemma response would be this one right here, calling that. Expected output, the bug is that the function subtracts instead of adding. Okay, so add and then return A minus B. Run the assertion. dbval handles a complex natural language processing comparison. Step 3, test for hallucinations, RAG testing. If you're passing context to Gemma like a user's resume or transcript, you need to test if the model is making things up. You evaluate 2 things: faithfulness. Faithfulness? Who created this? Who created this? This is okay. Did the model's answer come only from the provided context and context precision? Did your system retrieve the right information for the model to use? Let's see. And then step 4, automating the CI/CD. Once your tests are written, Dockerize the environment. You can set up a GitHub action that spins up a lightweight container, downloads the Gemma model via Olama, runs your PyTest suite and tears it down. This ensures that every time you update a system prompt or change a RAG pipeline, you know exactly how the model behavior shifts. To get this pipeline started, what specific tasks or applications are you trying to use Gemma for right now? Are you testing its ability to parse documents, generate code, or act as a conversational agent. Since this is my first time setting or doing this type of testing, I just want the most basic setup so I can see it working. Let's see what that gives us. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna open up PyCharm while we wait, because I figure we're gonna need PyCharm. All right, starting with the hello world. Always the first script is always hello world. It's a perfect way to build your mental model for this. We are going to bypass the complex frameworks for a moment and build a pure Python script using the standard request library and a basic assert statement. Quick side note, Google's current iteration of this model family is Gemma 2. If you're seeing Gemma 4, you've likely downloaded a 4-bit quantized version of the model, which is great for running locally on limited hardware, but the API calls will just reference the model you name for you. Really? No. We have Gemma 4. Hold up. Latest Gemma model. As of April 2nd, 2026, the latest generation is Gemma 4. Isn't it weird when Google doesn't know its own information? I'm gonna go to Google DeepMind. And we're gonna say, what's new in Gemma 4? Let's go with I don't want that.
Hi,
I don't want that. I just want it. Let's go to interesting Gemma 4. I hate to do this to you, Gemini, but according to Google DeepMind, Gemma 4 was released in April of 2026. I'm just gonna say that. Not that I'm trying to be rude to Gemini, but anyways, while it's doing its thing, so the setup, make sure you have Olama running in the background and you have your model pulled. We got that already. If it talks back to you, hit Control D. Talks back. Whoop. You talking back? We do that? We don't do that. All right. Create a new file called test AI. To make this a predictable test, we will use a technique called prompt constraining. We will ask the model a question, but explicitly tell it how to format the answer so our traditional assert statement does not fail due to extra conversational text. All right, let me see what they said about this real quick. So you're absolutely right, and I appreciate the correction. That is my mistake. April 2026 did indeed bring the official release of Gemma 4 under the Apache 2.0 license, packed with those massive upgrades for agentic workflows, native function calling, and the new thinking reasoning mode. Since you're running the actual Gemma 4 model via Olama, we can get right into the basic hello world setup. We'll bypass the complex framework for a moment and build a pure Python script using the standard request library and a basic assert statement. And I think I already have it running. If it drops you into the chat, hit Control D. The Olama server is now running in the background. Create the new script. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. All right, we're gonna get started with this. Let me go to project, new project. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay. And we're gonna set, let me go here. Looking for a folder to put it in, that's all. Let's go with AI testing. All right, so a project is created. And let's go over here. So we're going to create a file called, new Python file called test_AI. And I don't need to do this right now. All right, so we're going to go to import requests. And let me make sure that's imported. Define test Gemma basic response. Jeez. And we are going to say, all right, so I am going to, let me do this like this. Let's go here. Here, I'm gonna just bring this so I can see it better. Just so I don't have to keep turning back and forth and then break my neck by looking at the other one. Let's go to, all right, so, and you may ask, why don't you just copy and paste it? Well, the reason I don't like to copy and paste when I'm learning something is because I want to be able to, if I type it, I have a better chance of remembering it, and it'll stick better that way. So the URL for the Olama running is going to be http://localhost, because it's not running on our computer, for port 434/API/generate. And we're going to say we constrain the prompt so it doesn't reply with conversational text. I'm guessing that's what it says over here. Conversation, fair enough. And we're gonna say prompt equals, what is 2 + 2? We reply with only numbers and absolute absolutely no other text or punctuation, which this would not be a test in the real world because that's what punctuation or punctuation. It's not be a prompt in the real world because we want it to be free to reply to us however it feels like replying to it. Constrain. Sure. Proper grammar, okay? Now, so I can't see. Hold on. So now we need the payload for that. So the payload is the JSON body that it's going to be sending to the large language model. So we're going to say the model that we're using is going to be Gemma 4. The prompt is going to be, what do you think the prompt? So if I say prompt and then just prompt, right? What does that mean? That means that the prompt is going to be taking this variable right here, and whatever I have in here is going to be here. And in the future, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to have like a list of different prompts. So we have prompts and expected results, and then it'll be able to fit into that. All right. So we got that prompt, and then stream is going to be false. So what does the stream do? So the stream, so let me see here, matches the tag you used in Olama. And what does this false mean? So this false means we want the full, okay, so yeah, so when you do stream, it'll show you like, if you have stream true, it'll show you like, you know how when we're using Gemini or ChatGPT, how it's like streaming the responses in real time. The false means that it's just going to be the answer all at once. All right. We want the full response at once. Don't tease me with a response. All right. And look, I'm going to write the notes the way that I'm going to understand it, not the way that it's telling you, because I need to understand for myself. All right. Next up, we say print. So F string. So this right here, I'm just printing out like what the prompt that I'm going to be sending to the local AI, just so I can have that context. Next there, so when we come back from break, we're going to do the act. So in test-driven development, in testing, we have the arrange, act, and assert, right? The AAA, arrange, act, and assert. So that's the standard, that's the model that we're following here to test AI as well. So that is what we're doing, all right? So, but let's go ahead and let's go to break at the moment. And then once we're done with break, we will come back and continue this project, all right? So let me see what we have in the chat before we get into our next break time topic. Junior says faithfulness. These large language models ain't loyal. Tell them, Junior. They ain't loyal. They are not loyal at all. You can't trust them as far as you can throw them. You cannot trust them as far as you can throw them, all right?
I'm in a bind, Nate.
All right, let's go into our next break time topic of tonight, which is going to be, drum roll please, Tesla. Yes, Tesla beats earnings. Can you believe that? Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into that one. And it is being credited that Tesla was able to beat these expectations because they're a tech company and not a car company. Although people think Tesla, when they hear Tesla, you think cars, but I have seen that Tesla makes solar panels. Tesla makes humanoid robots, robotic arms, moving into AI. So let's jump into that one, all right?
For more, let's bring in Wedbush's Dan Ives along with CNBC contributor Requisite Capital's Bryn Talkington. Dan, we'll start with you. You agree? Investors, do they care about these numbers at all? Do they care about earnings, or is today more about energy storage or autonomous driving or AI chips or robotics?
Look, you care because ultimately you need to see stabilization of demand. I think they've seen that in spots. If you look China, Europe, I mean, that is important in terms of the core story. But the reality, going forward, this is an AI company.
Why is CNBC's audio so bad on this video? Like, you guys hear that buzzing sound in the background? I don't even know if I'll be able to fix that when I clip it up, but that is annoying.
It's about autonomous. It's about robo-taxis. When you start to see the city ramp, talk about Houston, Dallas, when you see another 5 come on, you know, ultimately, what does volume production look like when you talk about from a time perspective? Cybercabs, Optimus. Look, to get the incremental $1 trillion evaluation, $1.5 trillion, it's going to be in AI. It's going to be really what I view. This is much more of an AI company, disruptive tech, than a car company.
Bryn, you say that the report today will be a credibility test.
I thought everything was going to hell. I just logged into my stocks and oh my God, they are dancing.
What's up?
Dying.
The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
Ooh, wait, I remember early last year, people were freaking out like, oh my God, what is going on with my 401k? Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I hate it.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
And I just logged in because I wanted to see how my Tesla was doing. I was like, Friday. Dang! That's how I feel. I'm like, oh my God, this is going crazy. Oh, I love it. I love it. Let me see how my Tesla doing real quick. Anyway, let me keep playing while I look at my Tesla.
For a company in transition, which speaks to those themes as well, what do you need to see in terms of checking the box for that credibility test?
I think when Phil and Dan obviously set it up, we want to hear about margins, first of all. Our margin's going to be sub 17, 18 is great, sub 17 probably gets a pinch. We want to hear about CapEx. Is CapEx for cars, or is CapEx, which we haven't talked about yet, for the Terafab facility, which is going to be very exciting. And so I think where this company is in transition is that it's clearly not just a car company. This is an AI company. This is a physical AI company with Optimus, with Cybercab. And I think that so many investors talk about, the other OEMs getting the NVIDIA chips that can self-drive. The reality is that just gives them the software. Tesla has the millions and millions and billions of miles.
It might actually be her who has all the background noise. If you look at the guy said it looked like he wasn't like in some type of newsroom, and she looks like she's in the middle of a dining hall or not what would you call that, like a ballroom or something like that.
Driven. So to me, we're looking for multiple things, but you want to have metrics of success. I think most people are going to focus on Optimus margins and robo-taxis from an earnings call perspective.
Dan, your $600 price target implies more than 50% upside for the stock. It's down 13% this year. What do you think really turns it around and gives it that bolster to get to that $600 price?
Yeah, look, for physical AI, the two best physical AI plays in the market today, it's NVIDIA and Tesla. But it's really, right now, it's the path to actually start to see the ramp into the second half of the year. This is a very important conference call from us to outline realistically. I mean, Phil always says, with a grain of salt, what it's going to look like in terms of production. What should we actually see in terms of cities on the road? That is extremely important. I mean, if you look, it's been slower than expected, but I think that's also been carefully, because the last thing they want to do is ultimately have some issue. So you're seeing city by city them ramping, and then it comes down to, over the next year, you're owning this for the autonomous robotics piece, and they need to prove and show what the timeline is there, as well as the stabilization in demand that you're also starting to see in terms on delivery.
Is it cities on the road, or do you think it's more about the network? Is it one car in Houston, one car in Dallas, or do you need to see more of a broader rollout at this point in time?
You need to see a broader rollout, but cities are important, because ultimately that is the start of what's going to be the network, where you're going to have 30, 40, 50 cities. In my opinion, they're going to own 80% of the autonomous market in the world. But as Bryn talked about, it does all start with rolling it out, showing the physical AI play. It's been underperformed this year, but I believe we sit here 3-6 months now, it's actually significantly outperformed.
And Bryn, you think the stock has a ceiling of about $450 per share. I believe you sold your calls at, what was it, $420 per share, which is a nice Elon Musk number. Over what time frame do you think that ceiling exists? And do you agree with Dan here that, in a month's time, we could start to see some real traction and what that would mean for the stock?
If we see real traction, the stock will be well above 420. I think it's going to take longer. Elon and his team do really hard things, right? And so that's where technically I'm very bullish on the stock long term, but just technically the stock is in a downtrend. And so I think, 400, by the way, is also resistance, but I sold my May, they'll expire, May 21st at 420. I don't think they get called away. I think it's going to be a few more quarters, but this company has so much call premium, so I'm more than happy just to be very patient, but sell calls on my positions that I own and collect really nice premium along the way.
Yeah, look, it's great thoughts there. I would also just say, when you think about SpaceX, coming in June in terms of the IPO, it's our view too, in the next year, Tesla eventually merges with SpaceX. And this is just an important dynamic as it plays out. I think that's sort of part of the golden goose for Musk as investors start to play this broader trend.
So I am not the most knowledgeable on this investing and when to do calls and all that. I just be like, all right, give me the heavy hitters, put and spread out the allocation in there for the ones that, and trust me, they have performed, right? But the thing that I want to take away is that what the lady said, I forgot her name, but if you think of Tesla as a car company, a car manufacturer, then you're going to think that, oh, they're not doing good. If you think of Tesla as a technology company, which that's what they have always marketed themselves to be, I said, we are a technology company. Like they said, we take the shell of a vehicle and we put our software into it. So Tesla is not a EV car company. It is a technology company, which one of their products or a few of their products are EV cars. But it's not like, oh my God, if no one wants to buy EV cars anymore, that Tesla's done for. No, because, and that's why you see Tesla has the robots, Tesla has the robo taxis, Tesla has the, what do you call it, like that diner in somewhere in Texas? They're going to be having maybe they'll be having those party vans. They have the robotic arms that they use in their factories to build Teslas and other stuff like that. And I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be surprised either, if Tesla tools and software are used to empower and build some of the stuff that fuel SpaceX. You see, like, so as a separate company, they're still $1 trillion companies. And then imagine when they merge. So you have to remember, Elon Musk just recently agreed to a new salary package where he would be like valued over $1 trillion, but he does have to take Tesla to like $5 to $8 trillion in valuation. Now the question is, do they easily get it like that if Tesla and SpaceX, what happens if they merge?
Are you ready?
So let me know your thoughts in the comments, regardless about how you feel about Elon Musk because of Doge. Shout out to Doge.
Bueller.
Sorry, never mind. Shout out to Doge. But regardless of how you feel about Elon Musk and him shrinking our government, and probably the reason for what happened in Virginia the other day, but regardless, I think that he is a very smart person, and he is positioning Tesla, like he's always been positioning Tesla to be successful with or without EV vehicles. And hopefully with the shift that's happening, if they keep making cars, hopefully that makes the car prices go down, because I wouldn't mind having a Tesla. I wouldn't mind at all. So let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment. Do you think that Tesla is going to win? That they're going to go, like, that they're going to get that over 450 valuation or per like stock price as they were talking about in the video? And if so, what do you think Tesla's next move is? Are they going to be putting out newer cars? Are they going to be removing models? Are they going to be focusing more on the humanoid robots? Because you can get a humanoid robot for the same price as a car. What would you rather have, the robot or the car? The robot or the car? I might go for the robot. I might go for the robot.
I'm just being honest.
Let me know your thoughts. Also, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. Take control of the dev. Join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Join us for Scrum Nights. Get access to Resume Flow to get your resume analyzed and get some feedback on it. See how well you match up to the job that you're interested in. Get access to the Tech Barbarians coaching portal so that you can set your long-term goals, your quarterly alignment, your weekly navigator, and your daily goals, and build in a reward system as well to keep you on track. And you can have your personalized Tech Coach Ralph right there in your pocket, and get access to Speaker Precisely as well so that you can speak better more articulate better. Stop saying like all the time. All right. That is over at techcoachralph.dev. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and check the chat real quick, and then we're going to jump into our next working segment. My guy Junior says, sounds like an airplane in the background. We can hear the entire background noise. Terrible, as Charles Barkley would say, terrible. They gotta get their act together. Somebody told me the other day on one of my videos, right? It was a short that I released. They said, with all due respect, bruh. And you know, when someone says with all due respect, they can say whatever they feel like it after that. They said, with all due respect, you have got to take the I think they call it snow or something out of your mic. And I went back to this video. I'm like, I don't have snow. Like, I don't have some snow sound in my mic, because I was perfectly clear. But they were talking about the video that I was reviewing who had the sound, and I was like, do not blame me for what the professionals do. All right, I try to keep my sound as clean as possible. So it's not always perfect. I try to keep it as clean as possible. But they said it was my mic. I'm like, hey, that was not me. All right,
They ain't believing us.
that was not me. Just okay. So
that was cute.
right.
So that was cute.
That was cute. All right. But that was not me. That was not me. All right. We're going to jump into our... And the funny thing is, right, so he's going to blame me, but I asked Rod Brown the other day, hey, I sent him the video, like, do you hear this sound? He's like, no, I don't hear nothing. And now, you see? Bruh. I'm telling you, that's how they do you. That's your own people. It's all good.
Another one.
It's all good. You know what, Rod Brown, you get one of you get one of these.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
Don't wish me Merry Christmas. All right, don't. How and you get one of these.
How dare you?
Both. You get two of those. You get two how dare yous, all right? Anyway. So, you know what, before in honor of Rod Brown, Mr. ChatGPT himself, I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Let me see if I can create a image with this new model. Let's go to let's see what we can do. Let's see. I have no idea what I can do with this. Try our latest AI image model. Put it to the test. It's faster, smarter, and better at getting details right. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Let me try something real quick. Let's go to open Thumbnail Studio. All right, cool. Let me try this. So let's see if I can do. I am going to try to recreate the thumbnail from today. All right, copy image. This one. This one. We're gonna put it. You see, like, don't. Y'all heard Anton talking about setting up a show for Prompt Wars. Prompt Wars? See, I'm already practicing right now. I'm practicing right now for Prompt Wars. Let's go. Because guess what? You're only as good as your large language model, all right? You're only as good as your large language model. So let's go here. Let's go. Oh, wow. Only 3 at a time? Maybe because I'm using the free one. Maybe because I'm using the free one, possibly. But, you know, just Rod Brown, what's going on here? So let's go to, I wonder if I can see the prompt. So let's go with this one. So this is the prompt. So this for tonight's for the thumbnail for this live stream, right? I'm going to put the prompt that I have in here. I'll say make it 16:9 aspect ratio. Let's see what it gives us. Let's see what it gives us. Just to humor and entertain Rod Brown. Derailing the show. Because in my app, I can send, or through Runway at least, I can send up to 14 reference images to Gemini or to Nano Banana. But let's see what this Chat GPT is able to do for us. And inspired by Rod Brown, next week, that's the goal for next week, I am going to make a video for our software explorations, how to, or like to picking the right large language model, right? And I'm going to add a AI matchmaker where you can okay. The arm here is kind of off a little bit, but that's not bad actually. That's actually not bad. Truth, bias, performance. Who's really the best? That's not bad. I will give you that one. That's not bad at all. Mistrial. Who would use Mistral? That's not bad. I like the font, I must say. I like the font. The arm movement is a little off, I will say. It's a little off. But the eyes look good. This is pretty good. I must say they have come a long way. They have come. All right. Shout out to ChatGPT. Only took them 10 years to get here, but shout out to ChatGPT. Only took them 10 years to get there. So shout out to you guys.
They ain't believing us.
Give you a round of applause. Nice job. Nice job. All right. We are going to actually get to work now, but I do like it though. Shout out to Rod Brown. And you probably have I'm guessing you have the paid version of ChatGPT, beloved brother Rod Brown. I do not because I use Gemini, but I do kind of like that. It did a really good job. It did a really good job. I wonder what context I gave it. Let me see. Because the one that I have via my app, it has like, it takes my prompt and then it cleans it up. So interesting. That's I'm gonna send this to where did I send it to? I'm gonna send that to my app and say, hey, this is what the new model of OpenAI did compared to this one, and get some more details on it. So we shall see. But that's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right. Let's go. And guess what? Guess what? The way my app is built, I can easily switch between models because it's just that flexible. It is just that flexible. All right. Anyways, let's go and let me check the chat real quick, and then we're gonna get to work. So let me see. Rod Brown says 3 upload limit. Sheesh, I don't have these problems. That's because I'm using the free one. But even on the free one, it gave me a really, really good thumbnail. So like I said, I like it. It's really good. You know what? Let me put my second prompt actually. Let me put my second prompt to see if it's gonna give me a second one. Where is my second prompt? Let me go with that was just, so I just said refine. So I'm gonna drop that in there, and when it's ready, we'll take a look at it. But yes, it's actually really good. I'm pretty impressed by it. Let me see. Junior says, just rub it in. Okay, now that one definitely deserves a pause, all right? I said I'm not going to watch the show anymore, but that one definitely deserves a pause. It says, bro, I told you, as Chris Tucker, as Smokey said in Friday, you ain't tell me nothing. You ain't tell me nothing. Let me see. Paid version through work. I told you. Did I not tell you? Some people get flued out. Some people get their software paid for. Simple as that. And if I had to choose, I'd rather stay home and pay for my software. Pay for my OpenAI, pay for my Gemini, pay for my Claude, and I'll be a happy camper. I'll be a happy camper. So let me show you this real quick. So I modified the prompt to say, my hand looks so small compared to but the beard is on point. The earplugs are wrong. So I said, refine, the shocked expression doesn't look good. Can we change it to a thinking pose like a thinking man statue? It looks good. I like it. I do like it. Really, really nicely done. Shout out to Gemini getting there. Let me see. Junior says, I use ChatGPT for images also more than Gemini sometimes. I think it depends, but yeah, I do not create thumbnails through the prompting window, so I use it through my app. But I could easily. Let me see something real quick. Now we're getting derailed. If I go to Runware and I log in, do they have the new model yet? I think they do. Is it GPT-2? What did they call it? Let's go over here. New open AI image model. What is it called? GPT-2. So on Runware, they already have it. Let's see, launch. And if we go to size, okay. Number of images. Quality. Input references. How many can they take? Input references. Doesn't say. Okay. I'm with it. I'm gonna try it out. I might implement it into my app, because in my app I can say which model that I want to use, and I can switch between models, and everything's gonna go through Runware, so I can easily switch between Gemini, Nano Banana, between the GPT Image 2. How much do they cost though? That's a good question. How much does it cost for that? Let's go to, can I get some view details? The cost is oh, wait a second. Hold up. 0.06. All right, that is I might have, you know what, Rod Brown? I might be going. I might, if it's 0.006 cents per image, that is a crazy good deal. How much is, hold on, how much is Gemini? Nano Banana. I'm using Nano Banana 3. Hold up. Nano Banana. Okay, there's Nano Banana 2. You see? All right. So it's from at least 4 cents per image. So so I'm paying like 6 cents per image. So yeah, I'm definitely going to integrate. I'm gonna do that tonight. Actually, I'm gonna integrate GPT image 2 or whatever it's called, and I'm gonna compare the qualities, because if that can save me some money, then you know I'm going. You know I'm going. You know I am going. Don't threaten me with a good time. Do not threaten me with a good time. All right. Shout out to my guy Rod Brown having me look into that. Look, the same way that these large language models ain't loyal, neither am I. Loyal to the game though. Loyal to the large language model game though, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, enough fun and games. Let's get back to work. All right, we are here for a reason. It's not to just mess around with these large language models. I mean, it is, but we do have work to do. So let's jump into our next 20 minutes of work.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right, so when we left off last, we got to the point. So we have to go to. So we say sending the prompt to local AI, and we need to do the act part, right? So number 2, let me move this over a little bit. All right, so number 2, we say act. Send the response to the model. Send the response to the model. Oh, send the request to the model. Okay. And why are you? Okay, so now we're gonna go here and we're gonna say print f string AI responded with, and we're gonna say actual. Oh, we missed a step, but we can still write it. Output. Let's say actual output equals. So response.json get. Am I skipping something? I skipped a whole bunch of lines. All right, my bad. So let me just start over. Let's start over here. All right, so we want response equals requests dot post dot URL, and then JSON equals payload. All right, so basically what this is saying, we're using the request library that we defined, that we imported over here, and it's saying that send a post request, that's like a curl call, API call, to the URL, which is this URL, our localhost URL, and add the JSON the JSON, which is called payload. This is the JSON payload right here that's going to be putting in here to send, and it's going to assign it to the variable response. So whatever the response that this gets is going to assign it to here, and then we're going to say in here. So we're going to say extract the actual text. Extract the actual text response and strip any invisible new line. So we're going to say actual output equals, so we're going to say response to call this variable, right? Which holds the post response, the request, it hosts what we requested, it hosts what it sent back to us, all right? So response dot JSON dot get, and we're going to say the response, and in here we're going to say strip any additional stuff that's sent to us, right? And print the F string for AI responded with oops, not that, with And we're going to put our variable for actual response. So whatever we get from here, we're going to output it. We're going to print it to here. And we're going to say, so the next step is going to be our assertion. The assertion is like the validation. Here, assert is check if the model followed instructions. And we'll say print and check test passed your AI. Oh, I missed this. How am I missing steps? Assert actual output equals. So equals like is equal to or matches. And if it's not for, test failed. And then why did it fail? Expected for, but got, and I know it's going to be in here. It's going to say actual output, something like that. And and so it's going to print, if it's able to get past this step, it's going to print your AI testing pipeline is functional, right? And then, so I wouldn't necessarily do it like this. So this is like running it as an application, but I would do it as test, but that'll probably be a little bit later on. So I'm going to say if name equals main. And if you take a Python course, then you'll learn this. And I say it's very, very important to take a Python course, right? Learn Python, learn all this stuff. Don't try to skittle around it. It is very, very important. Writing another line. And now we're going to run the test. I could just probably click here to run it. But we're going to do it to the terminal because learning the terminal is very, very important as well. So we're going to say that Python test _AI .py. See what happens. Setting prompt to local AI. What is 2 + 2? Reply with only an absolute and absolutely no text or punctuation. And AI responded with 4. Shout out to my AI. Your AI test pipeline is functional, so that is actually amazing. It is working. Our very first AI test is working. We are the best. We the best. All right. So let's continue. Let's hear it. So run the test. We did that. Why this matters? When you run this, you notice it only takes a few seconds. That is the inference time. You have just successfully tested 2 things. Infrastructure. Your Python code can successfully communicate with the containerized local large language model via REST. Instructions following, you tested the model's ability to adhere strictly to a formatting constraint. Because Gemma 4 was purposely built for multi-step reasoning and agentic workflows. Your future test cases can hold on. Your future test cases can get incredibly sophisticated, like verifying if the model correctly chooses to call a specific tool or API rather than just outputting text. But this script proves the plumbing works. Once you have a basic assertion passing, what specific type of AI task or workflow are you planning to build tests for next? All right, so I'm going to take this to the other, I'm going to take this to the other window, right? So that we can get more familiar. So let's go back over here. And I'm going to say, in order to learn the AI testing process, can you suggest a next step that moves us closer to the non-deterministic testing where we can implement some real AI testing tools and results? All right, so as we get closer into it, refining the, and while this is pulling up, right? When I'm working with people, I'm trying to guide them in the right direction instead of saying this is what you have to do. But especially people who are trying to get into the QA field, every single job that you are applying to today is talking about AI testing. They might have their own large language model that they're building that they need to test upon. And that's why I say you need, as a QA engineer, it is essential. It is critical that you, and we're late by not already knowing how to test AI models. But this is what I'm looking for people to do, like this type of strategy, looking for like, all right, go into Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude and ask it, teach me how to test these models. And now we already have our first test running. Very, very basic test, but guess what? What I just did is far more than 99% of people who are trying to get into QA or who are in QA. All jobs, all QA jobs are they're going to be shifting towards knowing how to test AI models. So what are you waiting for, right? This is what you should be doing. Along with learning how to do API testing, UI testing, contract testing, integration testing, all those still matter, but this is another layer to it. This is another layer, especially if you want to get a job nowadays. All right, to move into non-deterministic testing, we have to change the mechanism for the assertion. You can no longer assert response equals exerted string, fair. Instead, we use a pattern called large language model as a judge. In this pattern, you use a large language model to evaluate the output of another large language model on a strict rubric. This is the exact mechanism that enterprise AI testing frameworks like DeepEval, Ragus, and Langsmith use under the hood. Before you adopt one of those heavy frameworks, building this pattern from scratch in Python is the best way to understand the core mechanisms of AI QA. Here is how we test non-deterministic tasks, taking a messy, unstructured user complaint and having the model turn it into a professional Jira bug ticket. Oh, that is nice. That is a nice test right there. The non-deterministic test blueprint. Create a new file called test large language model judge. This script will make two calls to your local Gemma model for. The generation call, the model attempts the task. The evaluation call, the model puts on its QA hat and grades the output of the first call. So basically, we're gonna say the call Gemma prompt system. All right, so helper function to communicate with the local Olama, call Gemma, the URL, the payload. So we're gonna make a reusable. We're gonna make a function out of this, right? So we can just call it over and over again. All right, response, request, post. Okay, so similar to what we did before. Generate bug ticket, start non-deterministic AI tests. Phase 1, the target task generation, messy user complaint. Bro, I ain't your bro. I ain't your bro. All right, I don't call me bro. Don't call me bro. Okay. Anyways, bro, I was trying to buy some new shoes on my iPhone, and when I hit checkout, the whole app just froze. Probably trying to buy some Jordan 11s, bro. I looked at the log and it said something about 500 error from Stripe. Fix it, bro. And generation prompt. Convert the following user complaint to a professional bug ticket with a title, description, and steps to reproduce. Messy user complaint. So this is the messy user complaint up here. Print. Ask Gemma to generate a bug ticket. Actual ticket called Gemma. Generation prompt. System prompt. You're a professional QA engineer. Print generated ticket. Actual ticket. The evaluation, large language model as a judge, eval rubric. You're an expert QA manager grading a bug ticket. Review the provided ticket and evaluate it on these criterias. Does it explicitly mention the iPhone, iOS platform? Does it mention the 500 error from Stripe? Is the tone professional? No slang like bruh. Return your evaluation as a strict JSON object with 2 keys. Score an integer from 0 to 100 based on how well it met the criteria. Reason a 1-sentence explanation for the score. Do not include markdown, formatting, or any other text outside the JSON object. Eval prompt, eval rubric, ticket to evaluate, actual ticket. Ask Gemma to evaluate its own output based on the QA metric. Eval prompt, clean up the response in case the JSON model wraps it in markdown code blocks. And then try it, assert. If it fails, all right, why is this the crucial next step? Testing the vibe. You're no longer checking if the string matches exactly. You are asserting that the semantic meaning and formatting rules of the output meet a certain criteria. Threshold is greater than 80. Handling unpredictability. Every time you run the script, Gemma will write the ticket slightly different. However, as long as the core concepts, iPhone, Stripe, 500 error, professional tone are present, the test will pass. The foundations of AI frameworks. When you eventually look at the TypeScript tool like PromptFoo or Python framework like debeval, you will know exactly what is happening in the background. They just wrap this exact to-call process under nicer UIs and pre-built metrics. Run that script a few times to see how the ticket generation changes, but the test still holds up. Once you have this mental model locked in, do you want to explore testing RAG, retrieval augmented generation, or would you rather look into moving this into a visual matrix like tool like PromptFoo? All right, so we'll figure that out, but we are going to give it a try. I'm going to refresh this over here so I can get the latest. All right, so we are going to create a new file. So say new Python file. It's going to be test LLM judge LLM. Guys, remember Judge Dredd, judge LLM. And we're going to say so, all right, so we're going to do import requests, import JSON, import and we're going to say def call Gemma. What up, Gemma? Prompt. It's going to be, so this, by this saying prompt, this is a parameter that it's going to take. And then system prompt. When you have system prompt and you have the quotation here, that means like it's going to be defaulted to blank unless you actually specify something in there. And let's do the helper function to communicate with local Olama. And this is useful because you don't have to do it over and over and over again. Here we're going to say URL equals. So back to that same URL we had before, local host 11434 API generate, and payload equals, and then we're going to do the same thing, model Gemma. And I'm going to show you something that you can do as well in a little bit. Prompt. So the prompt is going, oh my God. The prompt is going to be the prompt that you're passing from up here. And then the system is going to be the system prompt. This is supposed to be system prompt up there. System prompt. System prompt that you're passing in from up here. Stream. False. We don't want that to happen. Capital F, because it's Python. And temperature, turning it all the way up. 0.7. we turn up the temperature. It's getting hot in here slightly to allow for varied non-deterministic results. All right, let me close this for now. And then, so what I want to do too, because like, let's say we want to be able to pass in different models. Let's hit a model choice. And we can say by default, or because you can't have it like that. So you're gonna have to go like this, and we can go like that, model choice. So then here I can say, instead of just hard coding Gemma, I can just say model choice, because let's say I want to use a different model, right? So by default, if I don't pass in a model choice, it's going to use Gemma 4 by default. But if I do want to say a specific model, then I can just say the model choice, right? I can just call it model, actually. I don't need to call it model choice. Let's say model like that, right? So I just want to, so I mean, this is my experienced brain thinking about, if I want to use more models in the future, I can just do that right now, okay? Because I do have DeepSeek available. So then we say,
Lunch break.
let me finish this method, or let me finish this function, then we'll go to break, right? Response equals requests dot post, like we did before, URL, JSON equals payload, and then return the response dot JSON dot get response strip, right? So this is the same thing that we did in the first one, but we're saying this call Gemma is its own function that's going to return to us the response. So we don't have to do like in this one where we had like the responses in here. We're going to, so we'll basically say response equals, in the next function, response equals call Gemma, right? All right, cool. So that's it for now. That is it for now. Let's go to break, and then this one I'm actually going to I'm going to actually clip up this episode, because this is going to be really, really important for the channel. I'm gonna clip up this episode, and I will make this a one video on the channel without all the breaks and all the stuff. Normally I put that, I will upload it to Techotrough Labs, but this one is worth being on the channel on its own, because this is very, very important stuff that we're figuring out right now for the future survival of QA engineers. This is for the future survival of QA engineers, so that's why I'm gonna put this on this channel as well, all right? The live will live, but I think it's important to have just the working segments together, okay? So let's go ahead and go to break. And let me see if there's anything in the chat. Nope, nothing in the chat. So let's jump into our last segment our last break segment of tonight, all right? Our last break is Meta. Yes, Meta. It's Meta. Yes, it's Meta. Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, his company, they are going to track their employees' keystrokes and mouse movements for AI training. Or is that maybe that's a good thing? We shall find out in a little bit. We will find out in a little bit. Let's jump into this video.
Business Insider got a look at an email Meta, the parent company of Facebook, sent to all employees letting them know they would start tracking their interactions with their computer in order to train their AI. Now, a memo to all Meta employees from their chief technology officer said in part, we're rolling out a tool that captures computer inputs like mouse movements, click locations, and keystrokes, as well as screen content for context. So joining us now is Charles Roulet, the tech correspondent for Business Insider, who broke this story. Charles, great to be with you. This goes beyond a company wanting to make sure you're actually working. Explain what Meta is really trying to do here.
Yeah, so what they're really trying to do is improve their AI models. Meta is in a really hot race with other companies like OpenAI to create the biggest and best AI model. And so with this kind of data, they want to be able to let AI agents basically control your computer. And if you tell the AI to do something, it can just take over basically your mouse and do something on your behalf. So that's the main goal of this new program.
So what's been the
if you are in the tech space, Rod Brown, what do you think about this? What is your initial thoughts about your employer wanting to track every keystroke, every mouse movement, every mouse location, screen grabs on your computer? Now, keep in mind, it is a company issued computer. So they could do it whether they're training AI or not. What up, real life PJ? In the building. What up? But what do you think about that? On one hand, think about it like this. On one hand, they're making their AI models better, which they can. On the other hand, are they using you to get rid of you? Real life PJ said it himself. I'm not with this because they're training AI to replace employees. That's very true. Because while I don't think a lot of companies would do it, I'm sure that Meta would do it. I am sure that Meta would do it. Let's keep going.
Reaction from employees about this? I mean, can workers opt out? I mean, there's got to be some privacy concerns here.
See, I want to keep going, but here is why she is wrong. When you are working on a company laptop, company property, there is no obligation of privacy. If you don't want the company to see it, then you should not do it on your computer, on your work computer. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you don't want them to see it, you should not do it on your work computer. Be careful what you do on your work computer.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of privacy concerns. A lot of Meta staff are basically outraged. The internal announcement that we obtained had a lot of angry face emojis reacting to it. And so one staff said, "This makes me super uncomfortable. How do we opt out?" Meta CTO clarified that actually you cannot really opt out. This is mandatory. So it's definitely creating a bit of a, I wouldn't call it a mess, but there's a significant backlash within Meta to this program.
Let me just make sure I'm totally clear on this. If you work at Meta and you're using any kind of company device, be it a laptop, a desktop computer, even a company phone, you are essentially training AI, whether you like it or not.
That's essentially true. Just to be clear, it only applies to US employees and their laptops, not their phones. But that's still a lot of people, obviously. And most Meta employees have a company laptop.
Laptops, desktops, whatever computing device that you're using. So what's the end game here for Meta? I mean, what do they want to learn? What do they want their AI to learn from all of this?
I mean, they want their AI to get really good at basically doing basic tasks. Like, you and I don't think about it, but when we want to like click on a pop-up, or we want to click on a drop-down menu, or book a flight. These are the kind of behaviors that AI has a really hard time doing right now because there just isn't that much data out there. So by capturing this data from their own employees, Meta is trying to basically create super powerful AI that can do things on their own without needing to constantly prompt a chatbot, basically.
I know it's very difficult right now to read the tea leaves when it comes to artificial intelligence, but is this eventually going to replace jobs?
That's a big fear, and I think there are people within Meta and in other tech companies that are really worried about this, that this is basically tech workers training themselves out of a job, teaching an AI how to do exactly what they do every day. So,
shout out to real life PJ. He just repeated exactly what you said.
We have yet to see. However, there are rumored layoffs at Meta happening next month. So we'll have to see.
We're going to be reviewing that soon. I heard that Meta's plans on laying off 8,000 people.
See how that impacts that, but it's definitely a big concern in tech.
You think your other companies are going to follow suit with this?
I think it's a huge trend we're seeing in AI training right now, which is basically to train AI to do the jobs that humans do. And of course, that leads to the question is like, why do these tech companies need to employ tens of thousands of people if an AI can do it?
Right. Scary times. Charles Roulet, thank you so much.
So I will say this, though. I will say this, right? I think that there's opportunity. So the first, all right, let's rewind real quick, right? About the Meta part. I think that the whole can employees opt out of it? No. It's like you have your company and you say, I want this and that done. And the employee's like, oh, I don't like that. Can I opt out? I'm like, no, this is what I want done. So there's no opting out of that. If your company says this is what we're going to do, your choice, take it back again. Scratch that. You can opt out. Do you want to know how you opt out? Yes. You opt out by quitting, by resigning. If you do not want to adhere to the quote unquote policies of the company, then you have to resign. Like it's simple as that, right? There is no expectation of that kind of privacy. The only privacy you have is like they cannot check your own phone unless you are accessing work stuff on your own phone. But if it's their laptop, if it's their computer, they can do whatever they want, right? So that's the number one thing. I do think though, this is another play by Meta. If people says, no, you cannot do this, cool, resign. So they might try to get people to quit on their own so they don't have to lay off more people and then be subjected to unemployment. I think that is another play by these tech companies, right? They like when they said, okay, you have to come back to the office, and people said, all right, I'm not doing it, I'm quitting. So I think there's that as well. The next thing, I think that there is opportunity inside of this whole tech stuff. What do I mean by that? In the past year, I have built so many different little applications here and there. And I see that people who had an idea, I'll give you Junior for example, right? The way that Junior has showed us at Vibe Code and Chills every other Saturdays, 2 p.m. Eastern time, how he built the photography website from prompting, lovable, and then we can iterate. Oh, try this, try that, and then what was the other idea? About the progressive web apps where you can have like the actual mobile app, right, or desktop app from your web app. There's gonna be so many more opportunities where you're gonna see new companies spinning up left and right, and new applications, new ideas coming out where these employees that maybe they didn't work out at Meta, maybe they didn't work out at Amazon, they're going to get employed by people who have the money, but they couldn't get started. So I think there's a lot of opportunity that's coming, and I see a lot of these software engineers, DevOps people who might get laid off from Amazon, from Google, from Meta. They're going to start their own. They're going to become entrepreneurs. They're going to work for smaller companies. They're going to give other companies a fighting chance to get better. So while Meta, while Google, while Amazon, while all these companies, they are refining the way that they work. They might be reducing their workforce. I think smaller companies are going to get opportunities to get engineers that they were priced out of the market from before. And I think that if an engineer from Netflix, or not, but like Netflix too, right? But from like a Google, a Meta, or whatever, they get hired by one of these smaller companies, that gives them the opportunity to job stack, because you don't have. Let's say one company, a smaller company, can offer you half the salary that you were making at Meta, but the amount of time you spend working for them is a quarter of the time that you spent of the amount of work you do at Meta. That means you could do for 4 companies what you do for one company, and you can maximize that money. And if you do it as a 1099 or something like that, a consultant or whatever.
More money, more money, more money.
So I think that there's opportunities. People are looking at, oh my God, and the reason that people look at like, oh my God, AI is going to replace jobs. AI is going to replace jobs at certain companies, but it is going to open up opportunities for other companies, and it's going to expand, and it's going to give you the upper hand, especially as a seasoned engineer from one of these big companies. Like, okay, cool. I have XYZ consulting company, and now you can get 4, 5, 6 companies. And you say, on Monday I work for this company, on Tuesday I work for this company, and boom, 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 and you build a pipeline. because you know how to use AI. And that's why I say it is imperative. It is imperative for software engineers, for QA engineers to learn AI and use your expertise to run it up. That's how I see it. I'm not worried about, oh my God, it's going to replace, it might replace your job at Meta. It might replace your job at Google. But guess what? That small company who has a great idea but can't get their idea off the ground, they need you. And there's like 5 or 6 or 10 of them or 20 of them that need you. Are you going to hustle though? Are you going to hustle? You know, it's hard out here. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to, I tried it. That was terrible. It's hard out here when you got to pay the money for the rent. However that song goes. Let me know your thoughts though. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that I am off on this? Do you think that Meta is wrong for tracking their employee keystrokes and mouse movements to train their AI? Do you think it's a violation of the employee's privacy? Or do they have no privacy? Because I know parents. See, here goes the bad analogies again, right? I know parents who don't like closed doors in their house. And they tell the kids, no closed doors. Are you invading your kid's privacy? It's my house. It's my house. You have no privacy in my house. Isn't that what your parents used to tell you? You have no privacy in my house. It's my house. I pay the bill. I pay the bills here. Privacy. Get the heck out of here. Right? So is you ain't no good for that. Junior, that happened at Vibe Code and Chill. What happens at Vibe Code and Chill stays at Vibe Code and Chill, all right? but can Meta say, well, this is our house. I run this. You guys remember Jay and 40-Year-Old Virgin? It's my shop. Talking to Kevin Hart. I run this, right? So can they say, well, this is our house. This is my computer. I pay the bills over here. I pay you, so you do what I tell you to do, right? Shout out to the analogies, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Meta? Do you disagree with Meta? Do you think that employers are going to quit? Do you think that employers are like, oh, I need this job, so I'm just going to let them happen, and then they're going to train AI to take over their jobs? Do you think that these employees are going to actually turn themselves into entrepreneurs, into consultants, and run it up? Because you might be making like, what, $200,000 at Meta as a software engineer? Working really, really hard. Or you go and become a consultant, and you get 100K, you sign 100K deals with a few companies, startup companies, and you work for all of them. Let's say you do 10. That's like $1 million. That's like $1 million a year. Just like that. Just like that. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. techcoachralph.dev. That is where I embarrass myself with my Suno music. Junior release. Junior, that is for Vibe Code and Chill. But check us out at Vibe Code and Chill every other Saturday at techcoachralph.dev. Every other Sunday, we have our Scrum Nights. Get access to Resume Flow, Tech Barbarians coaching portal, the Speak Precisely app that we're building on Sundays, all of that good stuff, all right? Over at techcoachralph.dev. All right, let me check the chat. Let me check the chat real quick. And then we're going to do our last working segment before we wrap it up for tonight. Let me see. And Real Life PJ said, nope, I am not with it at all. Says, let me unleash the chat as well. Says, I'm not with this because they're training the AI to replace employees. That I think that might be what Meta is doing. Junior says, it doesn't even matter. It's their company. It's their computers. And guess what? Everything you do on the job, on the clock, belongs to them. If you do it on their computers, on their clock, on their whatever, on their dime, it belongs to them. That is why you don't build personal stuff on your work computer. because if it blows up, it belongs to them. So I separate like my extracurricular activities, and they don't have anything to do with what I do at work. So I separate my extracurricular activities on this beast of a laptop, because my personal laptop is a lot more powerful than my work laptop. All right, I'm just saying. Bruh. So and it's almost time for a new one as well. This is a whole other story, right? Got to run it up for that. But I separate my extracurricular, my 5 to 9 from my 9 to 5, which is more like a 5 to 12. But who's counting anyways, right? Real Life PJ says, I mean, I don't blame them, because I always remember a company's bottom line is to bring value to the shareholders. Unless you're a quote unquote Anthropic, you're like, oh my God, it's so bad. Although we stole, we pirated a bunch of books and a bunch of music, we're the most ethical AI ever.
Bueller.
Yeah, that's their claim. The most ethical AI ever, but yet we stole a bunch of content. I don't know. Junior says, don't like it, get a job somewhere else.
I'm just being honest.
Junior's like, I'm just being honest. Junior knows no other way but to be honest. All right. Junior says, these people are crazy. Training the AI is why they even have a job in the first place.
Not come.
Tell them, Junior. So why not help to make the AI better? Maybe you'll be replaced, but you can stay ahead by getting another job. And I'll tell you this too, right? One thing that I do, I love to look at the opportunity of what I'm going to be learning. So regardless of what, you don't know what's going to happen in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years. You don't know what's going to happen. So I'm always looking at everything as a learning opportunity. So if you have the opportunity to train AI and get really good and contribute to how it works, let's say that you do train your AI out of a job. Do you know how much knowledge and context that you have to apply to the next job you go to? So now they're going to lay you off. They're going to give you a nice fat severance. You're going to get all your well, I don't know, whatever benefits you're going to get, right? And in that time frame, you're looking like you have all that knowledge that you've been accumulating. You start setting up your consulting agency, or you start looking for another job. And you have all that data, all that content, so that you can make the other company who can get rid of you a winner. That's how my mind works. That's how I see it. I do not believe in the victim Olympics, not even a little bit. It sucks that you get laid off, but I always think, okay, what's next? What was I able to learn from this that I'm going to make another company great again, right? That's my goal. That is my goal. Let me see. Real Life, he just says, shout out to you too, bro. Shout out to you. Appreciate the show. I'm gonna start watching more. Thank you so much. You are always welcome over here. Junior says, Meta will lay off the ones who don't want to let the company track their computer and mouse movement. They're just giving you a heads up, like, hey, this is what's coming. If that's a problem with you, get out. Let me see. This is another good point. Do you think the same thing will happen will apply to cyber analysts? I think so. If you've heard about the new Anthropic model Mythos, that it's so important that they haven't let out. I think that AI is going to be a tool and a supplement to everyone, right? That's my vision on AI. And I think that if you can build out these cybersecurity agents to be able to, whatever field of cybersecurity that you're in, you build tools to be able to analyze better. And now you're more like an orchestrator. I think the whole market, the whole tech market is shifting from having to write a bunch of code and a bunch of look through a bunch of logs and data. It's shifting to analysis, right? So if you can streamline the analysis so that you can focus on more important stuff and you can build whatever field that you're in, my message to you is start learning how to build these agents out. If you're in cybersecurity, learn how to build cybersecurity agents so that you can be the orchestrator. You can be the one who is saying, all right, go and look at here. So now, if you can add the goal, always add value, which is adding value is one of the hardest things to do. Adding value is one of the hardest things to do. All right. So if you can add value and say, all right, I have these cyber agents that can monitor. So me alone, I can monitor like maybe 2 or 3 companies for their cybersecurity stuff, right? With my agents, I can monitor a bunch of them in parallel, and I can go and it's like flagging stuff, so I have more visibility. If you ever seen the TV show Person of Interest, where they had the eye in the sky, that's what you want to be. And you have your agents, your cyber agents, who are tracking everything, and they're reporting back to you, and you just have to figure it out. You just have to figure it out. So that's how I see it. I think to a degree it'll apply, but you have to be at the foundation. You have to be the leader. You have to be the pioneer, as opposed to the person who's being reactive. You know, so you need to be proactive, not reactive. That's how I see it. Real Life just says Meta isn't wrong. They're just growing with the level of available tech. Also, if you are if you're an at-will employee, there's not much you can. There's nothing. No such thing as privacy. Exactly. It says I would run it up. There we go. That's how you got to see it. It says facts. You can pivot into AI development. A few months ago, I think it was like maybe November or December-ish, I did videos on different AI careers, the prompt engineering, the cybersecurity aspect of it, the DevOps aspect of it. There's so many opportunities that you just have to find out where are the holes and fill the gaps, you know, just fill the gaps. Let me see. Robert says, speaking of laptops, my new laptop arrives tomorrow. That means Junior, you see, take a screenshot of this chat. That means that the beloved brother Rod Brown has no excuses. No excuses, all right? Just no excuses. Whether you get flued out, you got the laptop to get to work. Okay? Get to work, Rod Brown. Get to work. Okay. Let's jump into oh my God, we've been going for a while. But we do have one more segment. Because this topic is too good to stop. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into our last 20-minute segment of tonight. Let's go to boom.
It's time to do.
So when we left off, we were working on setting up this function to do our non-deterministic testing. All right. So now that we have this, so we have our function definition of call Gemma. We're gonna do the actual test. All right. So test generate. So define test generate bug. Oops. Bug ticket and print starting non-deterministic AI test. And if you didn't hear before, the reason that I like to type all this stuff out is because it helps it stick into my mind better, right? If I was to just copy and paste the prompt just so I can see it work, I'm not learning. I'm just copying and pasting, which I think in the age of AI, that is the problem that most people make. I'll be coaching people and it says, oh yeah, like I'm writing these tests and stuff like that, but I'm not really following along because I'm just copying and pasting. I'm like, well, then you're not really learning anything. You just want to see something run. But if they say, all right, I need you to do this at the office, on the job, you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it because I just copied and pasted, and you're not going to be able to copy and paste your way through a successful career, right? So let's go here. And we're gonna say, okay, I am gonna copy and paste this part though. I'm gonna copy and paste this. So let's do that. And we're gonna go here and we're gonna say, okay, phase 1, the target task generation. So remember, there's generation and then there's evaluation, right? And we're gonna say here, let's do that. Messy user complaint. So the messy user complaint is, bruh, I am trying to buy these damn Jordan 11s on your stupid app, and I keep getting an error. You know what? Error message. I'm going to do this, right? So watch this. This is going to be very, very, very rude and not politically correct, right? But you're going to see. You're going to see what I'm going to do. Error on your stupid app on my iPhone 17 Pro model, which I paid $2,000 for. Because, you know, sometimes you got to stun on them, let them know how much you paid for it. And I also want the model to filter out stuff that's not important. Let's go. And when I click checkout, or when I tap checkout, the whole app just freezes. I looked at the logs. Look at the logs. How would you? No, you can't look at the logs. All that I saw was a 500 error from Stripe. And I don't know what that means. Fix it so I can look fly at the club tonight to get the ladies, all right? All right, so now, why is this freezing? Come on. So now, here is my non-politically correct. Prompt. I am testing an AI model. Come on, OBS. Testing AI model, and I want a messier. Can you translate this to slang and ebonics and sound a little more ghetto to see, so I can see if my prompt, if my AI test can interpret it. Like I said, not very politically correct, all right? Not at all. But hey, it is what it is, right? You got it. If you're trying to stress test your model's ability to parse heavy slang, regional dialect, and heated energy, this should do the trick. All right, let's see how offensive. Let's see how offensive Gemini is gonna be. Hey yo, big bruh, check it. Oh my God, this is hilarious. All right, I'm gonna read it in character, all right? I'm gonna read it in character. Hey yo, big bruh, check it. This app y'all got is straight trash. I'm trying to cop them 11s. You feel me? I gotta add, you feel me? I'm out here tapping the screen on this brand new iPhone 17 Pro. Joint cost me 2 racks on God. On God. But every time I hit that checkout, the whole bid just bricks. I'm talking about it's talking about some Stripe 500 nonsense. I don't even know what that is. I just know my bread is right and your system tripping. Fix the glitch ASAP, man. I'm trying to be icy for the club tonight so I can pull a battle. so messed up. This is the wrong. All right, this is the wrong on so many levels. Don't have me out here looking dusty because your tech is weak. Fix it. And then for the Carltons like me, contextual slang, cop equals buy. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. The XI, because I almost said XIs, all right? But then I'm like, oh, the 11s, Jordan 11s, 2 racks, $2,000. So in case you didn't know, Gemini is also a slang translator for you as well, all right? Technical jargon in dialects, bricks, freezes, breaks, I don't, joint, the phone, emotional intense, high urgency, frustration, and social motivation. Does that hit the vibe you're looking for, or should I crank the unfiltered dial up a bit? Okay, I think it's been cranked up enough, all right? I think, see, maybe I should have had that. I should have read this for my for my embarrassing vibe coding show. All right, so we're gonna take that. All right, and we are going to say, boom. And I am going to say, let's do it like this. We gotta do, oh, shoot. Let's go to, so we gotta put the prompt in here. And we're gonna go to like that. All right, there goes our prompt, right? I'm gonna just clean it up a bit. All right, cool. So there goes our prompt. There goes our prompt, all right? So messy user complaint. I'm gonna change that to ghetto user complaint, all right? There we go, ghetto user complaint, all right? All right, so let's go back to our previous prompt. All the way down to the bottom. And let's go to, and this, all right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Not really, right? But this is how I learn. This is how I remember stuff, because I need to make it fun. I need to take it like away from the traditional perfect prompt that they're giving me to make it relatable to me, all right? So just don't at me, all right? Don't at me. By the way, I will neither confirm nor deny that I got permanently suspended on X, but then I also got reinstated on X. So yeah. All right, so let's say convert the following user prompt or user complaint into a professional bug ticket with a title, description, steps to reproduce, and then we do /n to make new lines, and we're going to say ghetto user complaint. So we don't need that space over there. All right, let's keep going. All right, so there we go. We got that. And I can go to, okay. What? Oh, okay. Let's go here. All right, we got that. And then we're gonna say print one asking Gemma to generate a bug ticket, actual ticket. So we're gonna assign the actual ticket. So now we're gonna call Gemma, call Gemma, right? And that's gonna be the request to Gemma, and then we're gonna say generation prompt. So this generation prompt that we're sending this, we're taking this ghetto user complaint. We're passing it into the generation prompt, right? And we are saying, system prompt is you are a professional QA engineer, right? Because I want to use Gemma, I don't have to because I could say Gemma, I could say model equals Gemma 4, but we don't need to because it's defaulting to Gemma 4, right? So we don't need to do that. So I'm gonna leave it out for now. And that's something that you'll learn with by learning Python, you'll learn this, which for whatever industry that you're in, it is essential that you learn Python because cybersecurity uses Python, AI uses Python, data uses Python, machine learning uses Python, all of that uses Python. So it is essential that you use Python, all right? All right, next up. Let's go to print F/N for new line, and then we're gonna say generated ticket, which is going to be the actual ticket. So what I'm gonna do, because we're running out of time, and I don't want to go way over today, right? We're already over time. Before I get to phase 2, I just want to be able to print out the actual ticket, all right? What we're gonna get. So I am going to jump down over, because I don't think we're gonna get to this whole thing today, right? But I do want to say if name equals main test generate bug ticket, right? So at least we can get to so I want to run this now. So at least we can get to we can get some results, even, and then maybe next we can continue with the phase 2 part of it, and then we'll get more into it. I think for maybe the next few Thursdays, maybe even longer, we're gonna be really focused in on learning how to test the AI models. Because I was taking a course for this in the mornings, but the mornings are they're just kind of wild for me right now. So this will force me to continue with the course and then actually work on Thursdays on getting better on learning how to test these large language models, right? So let's go to here, and we're gonna clear this up. And let me just make this a little bigger. We're gonna say Python and test LLM as a judge, asking Gemma to generate the bug ticket. I think I'm gonna print out the prompt as well, just so we can have some more visibility. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna say, let me see. Let's go with, go over here. Print user complaint. And I'm gonna say here, and we're gonna go, we need to put F over here. And ghetto user complaint. All right, so I'm gonna run it again just to run it again, but let's do that. It looks ugly. All right, so that's not what I had in. All right, that's whatever. Let's just do. Let me see. What if I try that? I don't know. It's not that serious. This part is not important right now. But whatever. So as the prompt, asking Gemma to generate a bug. As a professional QA engineer, I have restructured this user complaint into a standard actionable bug ticket format. This removes the slang, focuses on technical details, and provides clear reproduction steps. Bug report, high critical path failure purchase flow, critical blocks revenue generation, checkout payment gateway, title, checkout fails upon submission of payment details, resulting in a generic Stripe 500 error server error. Description, the user is unable to complete a purchase transaction when proceeding through the checkout flow. After entering all necessary details, shipping, billing payment, clicking the final payment submission button triggers an unhandled server exception, displaying an error message indicating the Stripe 500 failure. This error prevents the user from completing the sales regardless of the validity of the payment information. This appears to be server-side failure when communicating with payment details, impact direct loss of revenue, and an inability for customers to purchase items. Steps to reproduce, navigate to any product, putting in all this information, observe results. The application loads a generic error page or modal window containing the message. Click the results for it to go through. Device, iPhone 17, OS, iOS latest version. Platform specify, mobile app or web browser, yada yada. Additional notes, the failure is consistent and reproducible across multiple attempts and multiple dummy credit card types. This is pretty good. This is pretty good, right? Now, we only have like 2 minutes to go. So what I'm gonna do, instead of like continuing, because next week we'll continue with this, we'll do phase 2, type in all this information, because I have to type it in so it can stick. But I am getting a much better understanding and context of all this, right? But what I want to do, I want to show you this, right? Let me see if so Olama, open Olama. And this is Olama, right? I have Gemma 4. I have DeepSeek R1, right? I have Llama 3.2. If I was to say, what is it called? DeepSeek R-R1. If I was to say, in here, model, DeepSeek R1. Now, if I run it again, it's going to send my request to DeepSeek, a different model. Although it's not asking Gemma, it's asking DeepSeek. And this, watch this. Can't really do it here. But so disregard this as asking Gemma, right? This would say like asking DeepSeek if I could return the prompt that it's using, but neither here nor there. Or the model that it's using, but that's not important. But yeah, like, because we can have it test different models and stuff. And there we go. We have, so now DeepSeek responded to us. And DeepSeek loves to put all the details of what it's thinking. But app glitch on iPhone 17 Pro. The user encountered issues with their checkout process on iPhone 17. Transaction did not complete successfully. Step to reproduce. So I will say that the Gemma 4 response was way better than the DeepSeek. But DeepSeek is like, I've had this DeepSeek model for like 2 years now, so it's probably way outdated. But this is good. This is a great stopping point. All right. So let's wrap up the show. We've been going for almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're closer to 3 hours than we are to 2 hours, so that was way too long. But guess what? On Thursday nights, I got the energy. I got the juice. But that is it. That is it, my friends. I hope you had a good time learning how to start learning with me, because this is new to me too. Learning how to start testing these AI models, what tools to use. Next week we're gonna get into phase 2. We're going to do the eval part, and maybe we can say, all right, use Gemma 4 to eval DeepSeek, and vice versa, and evolve themselves. We have great stuff to work on for the next coming month or so, maybe even longer, right? That is the goal. That is the plan. Let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy yourself? Are you not? Are you? Not that one. Where? I don't have that one anymore. Oh no, I don't. Anyway, sorry, not sorry. But let me check the chat real quick before we get out of here. Let me check the chat before we get out of here. All right. So let's see. Oh, got a lot of comments here. All right, let me see. We got Junior says accountability, and says I'm learning with my copy and paste method. Junior, look, you are tech adjacent, so you are perfectly fine with your copy and paste, and you're working on it because your goal is you're learning AI through building your applications, so it's different for you. And trust me, when I am building out a prompt to put into Lovable, I'm definitely copy and pasting. But being that this is my domain, this is my field for QA and testing, that is why I am typing it out. But if it was something else, I would definitely copy and paste. So I'm with you. I am with you on that, Junior. I was about to say you're not alone, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, right? Let me see. Sounds like Will Smith in Fresh Prince. What did I say? Oh, you're talking about my prop. Yeah, that prop was wild. Hey, yo. Oh my God. Real life PJ. We have fun here, right? I do my very, very best because on the surface, a lot of this tech stuff is not going to be fun. My goal is to make it fun, make it interesting, make it relatable. And trust me, that was relatable. That was relatable, all right? Oh my God. It's cracked. No more power? No more. All right. Well, remember, Junior, I think you're here for that, Junior. Remember, yeah, you were, because remember we were talking about on Tuesday, how much horsepower is enough, and it's like it's never enough. This was enough. This was enough. It says, how do you manage to get banned on a free speech? All right, so you know what? When I'm wrong, I know that I'm wrong, and I'm like, you know what? I just took the L. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I thought permanently suspended means that you can never get back on the platform. But then I went back the other day and I was like, oh, I can start using it again. But the reason that I got banned is because I was using N8N to like auto post some stuff, and I guess they was like, okay, you're tripping now. You're tripping. Because I was like, come to Vibe Code and Chill and stuff like that. So I accepted it. I was wrong. And I was like, you know what? I made my fate. I was like, all right, let me cancel my blue check. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, boom, I'm back. So I was like, oh, well, so I'm like, I guess I'll keep my blue check. Real life just says, Python is difficult to learn. I would say it depends on what you are, how you're learning it, right? Join us. All right, join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Go over to TechCoach.dev. You can sign up for free. Join us for Vibe Code and Chill. We can have an actual conversation about it. If you take the right course, and I'll tell you right now, I would suggest getting the Dr. Angela Yu. The first one to get is Dr. Angela Yu, 100 Days of Python. It's going to take a little bit longer than 100 days, but it's going to give you a comprehensive starting point for Python. Really, really good, really, really important. That's what helped me learn Python. And I don't think it's going to be as hard as you think it's going to be, especially if you have the right support system. So you can like join us for Vibe Code and Chill. Also, if you join in the Discord and you're having issues, you're having questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will always answer, and there's other people who might be knowledgeable as well. There are other people who are knowledgeable that can help as well. So, but it's important. It is really, really important because Python is the foundation of a lot of the tech stuff that we do, from, like I said, from cybersecurity, from AI, from testing, like so many different things, like from scripting, from data analysis, all that stuff, Python. So it might be rough to get started, but once you get the foundation, you're gonna take off, right? So definitely tap in, get resources, right? Because bruh, not the Sonic countdown. That was the work of Magnetar. Magnetar got the Sonic countdown, and it just sticks. And then when I drown, you'll have Rod Brown says, just drown already. Just drown already. You can't go longer. So you'll see. It says, great stream, ads. Thank you so much, Junior.
I appreciate you.
It says, I came hella late, but I can dig this. Come and join us. Says he's supposed to drown and go to break when that drowning sound plays, but Rod Brown isn't paying attention. Are you not entertained? Is that is what I was looking for. That is what I was looking for. But in my switch from different softwares to OBS, I never set that back up. All right. Tech adjacent. Why does that sound like you just gave me? You know what? I'm gonna make pronouns for tech. All right, I'm gonna make pronouns for tech, and then we can be like, we can have our own pronouns. Right? Says, so their issue was yes, that was their issue. I was automating messages. Says, I'll definitely pull up, but my experience with Python was in college, and that was just an entry class. But the coding part was the hard part. For me, at least. You're not in college anymore. Now you are with Tech Coach Ralph and the Tech Barbarians. And look, I'll tell you this story, right? When I was in college, my first introduction to coding was C++. I passed that class with a D-, all right?
I'm just being honest.
I passed the class with a D-. Make that make sense somewhere, right? So I had no idea, but as I started taking a lot of Udemy classes, so the Angela Yu course is on Udemy, 100 Days of Python. As I started taking more Udemy classes, it made learning how to code a lot more practical, a lot more easier. In college, they said, here's this book. It made no sense at all. So trust me, it's gonna be a lot easier, all right? Let me see. It says, I've been here so long, I can tell what sound you're like. Look, Junior, you don't know me, all right? You don't know me. Acting like you know me. You don't know what I was looking for, right? Although you were 100% correct, you don't know what I'm looking for, all right? You know what? You get one of these.
How dare you?
And
how dare we speak Merry Christmas?
No, we're not doing that, all right? See, now I gotta go. Now I would love to stay and chit chat some more real life DJ, but Junior thinks he knows me. He thinks he knows me, and that we're not doing that today. We're not doing that. All right. Anyways. But for real, come and join us, Vibe Code and Chill. If you're Tech Coach Ralph if you message me on Discord, just at Tech Coach Ralph, I will put you into the Discord and we can chat, and I can help you get started, all right? But it's really, really important that you learn Python, and that is to everyone. If you want to be in tech, your first, like, you need to learn Python. That's the easiest way to say it, all right? But that's it. Remember, tomorrow we have the Bug Bite. I'm going to be dropping it at noon Eastern time. Saturday, no events on Saturday. Sunday, live stream at 2:30ish, and then Scrum Night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, all right? But that's it. You guys have a wonderful night. Do me a favor on your way out, if you haven't done so already. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. As well, techcoachtrap.dev, Resume Flow, Tech Barbarian Coaching Portal, Speaker Sites the app, Vibe Code and Chill, Scrum Nights, all that good stuff, all right? Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
Yeah, firing, chapter 2. Straight up, no lies in the view.
We keeping it real, maintaining the code, integrity heavy, we taking the load. Let's go!
Look, do not think dishonestly, keep the path straight. Never cut a corner when you're knocking on the gate. I don't need a mask, I ain't putting on a fake. Every move I'm making is a risk I gotta take. Hold on, look up in the mirror, see the truth inside. Got the honor in my pocket, I ain't got a thing to hide. Real sad. my own way. Woo, woo. Say what you mean and you mean what you say. Sharpen up the spirit, get it ready for the fray. No deception in the dojo, keep the actions pure. If the mind is full of poison, then the truth is the cure.
Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on a samurai road. No lies, no tricks, we ain't playing no games. Keeping our integrity, remember the names. Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on a samurai road. Cut through the fake with an honest blade. In the light of the sun, we don't need the shade.
Yeah, step to the mic, let a queen just speak. If you're acting dishonest, foundation is weak. I can see the deception right there in your eyes. You can try to disguise, but I'm cutting the lies. Straight down the middle, my katana is quick. I ain't falling for the trap, I ain't falling for the trick. Keep the circle so tight, keep the energy clean. We the realest on the scene, if you know what I mean. Got the water in the earth and the fire in the wind. Got the void in my soul where the truth is pinned. Every single action is aligned with the core. I don't gotta let us settle the score. Yeah, steady breathing, focus on the real. Tell them exactly how a warrior feel. No shortcuts, put the work right in. That's the only way a champion can win. Yeah.
Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on a samurai road. No lies, no tricks, we ain't playing no games. Keeping our integrity, remember the name. Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on a samurai road. Cut through the fake with an honest blade. In the light of the sun, we don't need the shade.
Yeah, back on the beat, got the 808 booming. Look at the horizon, the destiny looming. I don't need a cheat code, granted out raw. Truth is a weapon and truth is a law. Moving with 10, every word is a bond. Got a vision so clear, looking way beyond. If you come with the soul for a piece of the pie, you'll be choking the crust when the river runs dry. So I stand 10 toes, planted in the dirt. Honesty is heavy, yeah, the truth might hurt, but I take it on the chin, walking the right. Never bringing darkness, always bringing the light.
No faking,
just taking a path that is hard.
no breaking,
We holding the ultimate guard.
pure motive,
We stepping with nothing to hide.
true focus.
We moving with honor and pride. We speeding it up, put the pedal to the floor.
Never acting shady, we the ones they adore. Massage the mindset, keeping it precise. Never sell a soul, man, it ain't got a price.
Hey yo, spinning through the verse like a hurricane wind. Gotta purify the spirit where the shadows begin. I don't do the backstabbing, I confront them face to face. Running with the truth at an unbelievable pace. Look, integrity in all that I do and I say. Keep the negativity a million miles away. Straightforward like an arrow, let it fly from the bow. I'm reaping all the honor from the seeds that I sow. No illusion, no delusions, keep the clarity grand. Got the book of 5 rings in the palm of my hand.
Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on the samurai road. No lies, no tricks, we ain't playing no games. Keeping our integrity, remember the name. Maintain the code, yeah, maintain the code. Walking with the truth on the samurai road. Cut through the fake with an honest blade. In the light of the sun, we don't need the shade. Yeah, keep it on.
No dishonest thoughts.